and welcome all friends and devotees of yoga and meditation and Buddhist studies. I'll continue reading my Dhammapada. Today is Sunday the 4th of October. Sunday the 4th of October 2015. And I believe we are reading from verse 90. We should be on verse 90 today. We stopped on verse 89. For those who are watching my videos for the first time, I'd like to inform you that I have certain websites attached to these videos. I'll advise you to visit those websites, click on them, and that way you're able to follow us. It makes the job a lot easier for newcomers. Today's reading, I'll start, I believe we are on verse 90. Yes, we should be on chapter 7, verse 90. These are the Dhammapadas. And as I was saying before, it's always good to try to show you what the scripts are. The Buddhism is different from Christianity and Islam. Because in Christianity and Islam, I want to always try to go to the basics so that you can understand what we are doing here. It makes things a little bit easier when you come to contemplation to achieve the objectives of Buddhism. There's a difference. What is the difference? I'll tell you the basic difference. There's always a fundamental difference to keep in mind. If you are in Christianity, okay? In Christianity, we serve God. In Islam, we serve God. I am coming from Christianity to Buddhism. And I spent more than 30 years as a Christian before I came to study Buddhism. So in Christianity and in Islam, and I've also been blessed, I've been able to translate the Holy Bible in English and in Esa, my mother tongue. So I've studied Christianity in depth. Now, if you're coming from Christianity, you understand that in Christianity, when you deal with God, when you come into the presence of God, it's similar to Islam when you come into the presence of God. Because when you stand in the presence of God, you know that the God in Christianity is a God that can strike you down or reward you. The God is dangerous God, and it's also kind God. It's a God that can create the world, and if you've read your Bible well, it's a God that destroys the world. Those are the two powers. In short, the point is that when you stand before the God in Christianity and in Islam, you stand with some kind of fear, because the God could strike you down, could destroy you. If you are not sure, I'll cite you. I'm a Bible translator. I've translated the Holy Bible. I've authored the Holy Bible. The God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? With fire, destroyed the whole Sodom and Gomorrah when he found them in certain kind of sins, right? And also he destroyed the world in the time of Noah with water. Drowned everybody with water. If you remember the story of Noah and the ark. And when you go back to Genesis, it tells you that the same God created the world. So I've made my point. The point I'm trying to make to you is nothing frightening. It's to tell you that when you stand before the God in Christianity and in Islam, Judeo-Christian religions, you stand before a God who is capable of creating the world, who is said to have created the world, and at the same time, if you read your Bible correctly, he has destroyed the world, destroyed humankind. Okay. Now, I'm trying to prepare your mind to understand how we meditate in Buddhism. When you come to meditate in Buddhism, that we have no fear. Have Buddha told you that they fear anything? No. You have cast out your fear. When a mother gives birth, I'll give you an example. When a woman gives birth in a maternity ward to her baby boy, baby girl, and they bring her the baby. Here is your lovely baby. Congratulations. Is she afraid of that baby? No, it's her baby. She cuddles the baby. She embraces the baby. That's how divinity is in Buddhism. Exactly what the mother feels. The mother doesn't feel the slightest fear before her child. She embraces her child. That's how we embrace the Buddha. The Buddha is even more harmless than the baby. He is so perfect. I'm just trying to show you the picture of perfection attained. The Buddha has no harm. The Buddha is perfect. absolutely perfect. No harm. The Buddha won't even give you a punch on your face or a slap on your face. No. Totally harmless to humankind. So when you come into the presence of the Buddha, it's very different. When you go into the presence of Judeo-Christian deities, he could strike you, he could attack you. The deity kills, he creates the world and destroys the world. There's a difference, and I hope if you're smart, you should have got the difference by now. That's a God that can destroy. Okay? So you are not relaxed, you are on guard. Don't commit sin, because if you commit sin, the God will kill you. Will send you to hell. That's the idea. Got it? You've got it. Okay. In Buddhism, that's not the issue. It doesn't mean that Buddhas can commit sins with impunity. We don't. I'm a Buddhist. I'm instructing you now. Why not? Because the idea is different. In Christianity, there was fear of God. That if you do something wrong, the God will punish you or send you to hell. Got it? In Buddhism, there is something we call karma. If I do something that is incorrect, I punish myself. I bring the punishment to myself. If you send your child to school, send a young boy, young girl, your baby, your boy, your girl to school, and your boy or girl goes to school and he does not read his notes, he cannot pass the examinations. That's the karma. If you don't study, you cannot pass your examinations. You have to study to pass your examinations. Got a point? So that's the idea. So in Buddhism, we are responsible. We take responsibility for our actions. If I do something that is incorrect, then the punishment will come back to me. If I want to be rich, I must work hard. If I work hard, I get paid. I get rich. If I don't do anything, I starve to death. So the idea is different. You have to understand, the deity or divinity or whatever you want to say, in Buddhism is harmless. The Buddha is harmless. If that's the ground center, that's the deity or divinity, if you want to put it that way. I'm just trying to teach you so you can understand from the premise where you're coming from. Harmless deity, you are not harmed by the deity, you are harmed by your deeds. If you do something that is good, you get your reward according to what you have done. That's what we call karma. I'm not teaching you about karma. If you do something good, the good things you have done return to you. And if you do something bad, the evil you have done returns to you. That's the understanding. Buddha doesn't do nothing. Buddha doesn't harm you in any way. He just is an instructor. He teaches you. Don't touch fire. If you touch fire, fire will burn your hands. You see? That's what the Buddha, he shows you a teacher. He teaches you what to do, what not to do. He doesn't kill you, doesn't harm you, doesn't, totally harmless. Once you've got that point, I'm going to now read you this. So when you come to listen to the words of the Buddha, you come into a doctor who brings you happiness, perfect peace. When I sit down to meditate in front of the Buddha, I'm perfectly relaxed. My heart just feels free. Because you know that that deity, okay, is not going to do any harm to you. Period. The Buddha is harmless. That's the point. In Christianity, it's not so. The God in Christianity is harmful. That's the point. In Islam, harmful. The God he destroys the world. Got it clear if you've read your Bible. Destroys the world. In Buddhism, no. In Buddhism, you destroy yourself. If you do evil, you have destroyed yourself by doing evil. If you do good, you have preserved yourself by doing good. So, do good. That's what we call karma. Your deeds that you do with your hands return to you. This is the teaching in Buddhism. And this is what I'm instructing you now. Okay, once you've got that, now you're relaxed. We don't fear in Buddhism. Everything we're reading now is bringing us healing and happiness and peace. Okay. Travel onwards without grief, liberated all around, and rid of all attachments. Pain and suffering are extinguished for a person enlightened like this. That's verse 90. Those who are ever mindful of the Buddha proceed onward towards renunciation. They have no delight in a permanent residence or dwelling place. They proceed from heaven to heaven, just like untamed geese wandering away from a forsaken lake. That's verse 91. 92, we continue. People who are no longer striving to accumulate possessions, who are perfectly knowledgeable regarding nutritional matters, whose residence is as empty as a wretched lane, the path of such humans is difficult to tread, just like the way of eagles high in the heavens. Of course, these are my translations. I've done this when I was translating the Holy Bible. I also quickly translated I did several translations actually that year, several years ago, about 10 years ago. So when I started translating the Holy Bible, I also translated the Buddha Dhammapada. I did Bhagavad Gita translations in Esan. I translated all the sacred books from the major world religions. I did Holy Bible from Christianity, Holy Quran from Islam, Bhagavad Gita from Hinduism, Dhammapada from Buddhism, and Confucianism. I did the Analects of Confucius as well. I did several translations about a decade ago when I started translating. And of course, several other sutras of Buddhism I translated. So many, particularly into Esan language, because all these teachings have never really been translated into so many African languages. So I did a series of translations that year. I supervised many other scholars, and we had several translations achieved. Okay, verse 93. A man whose wandering and imaginary thoughts have ended, who is neither a glutton nor greedy, whose residence is as empty as a wretched lane, the path of such a man is